Hello guys and welcome back to episode number 15 of the Hertha Berlin Career Mode. Today we do start with a game against Hanover, and as it is episode number 15, as promised, we will have 3 games recorded and played for you guys today. The first one is against obviously Hanover, then we are playing Cologne, and the final game is a big one against Bayern Munich, so that should be interesting. It is a very good episode. As you can see, this episode is quite a bit longer than usual episodes, and you will know that is because there's a lot of action to show you, and you know, good and bad I suppose. So we will get straight into it, starting with a game against Hanover. Obviously we do only have, I think at this point, 7 games left, so there is only 2 more episodes of this first season after this one. So by episode number 18 we will be starting to get into the new season, which is absolutely awesome. Really excited for the new season. Not too sure what we're going to be doing with the team. I might put a straw poll up to ask whether or not you guys want to see a financial takeover. I'm not too sure. It depends really how much money we get at the start of next season as to what I'll do regarding a financial takeover. I am thinking about it. I do have 1 left in the catalogue, and this is the only series really that I think I would use it in. I mean, I've got another series planned after the Fiorentina one, but it doesn't necessarily need to have a financial takeover in it. So if you guys would want a financial takeover, let me know in the comments, and I might do a straw poll in the next couple of days or week and just kind of find out what the kind of deal with that is. But we started off awfully against Hanover. You can see I don't even think I've showed you a clip from us because we haven't actually done anything. We really struggled in this game. They were playing very well, and it was a bit scary because closing in on the end of the season, we at least want to be grabbing that 4th spot. I mean, ideally I want to come 2nd in the league. It would be a really big achievement. We have been up in 2nd for most of the season. We have now fallen behind to Dortmund, and we do go 1-0 down here at the hands of Hanover, which was very disappointing. You know, this was the first game of the day, but nevertheless I still shouldn't be playing this badly, you know, whether it's the first game or the last game of the day, or even in between, you know. And I wanted to get back into this game, but we just couldn't get the ball. They were playing like Bayern Munich, so I was kind of worried when going into the game against Bayern if we would get absolutely stomped, and we go 2-0 down, which was just horrendous. You know, at this point I was like, oh my god, like we're actually going to lose a game. We've only lost, I think, 1 game in the league this far, maybe 2. So in all honesty, we've done very well this season considering our team is not very good, and that's something that I want to kind of improve on in the summer. Maybe looking into selling Salomon Kalou. I know he's been an absolute saint for us, but he is getting older, and I would like to bring in a younger and better striker. If we could get 20 to 25 million pounds for Kalou, I don't know if he'd go for that much, but if we could, that'd be fantastic because we do need to strengthen the team. I want to look for a new CDM. I have been looking at Steven Gerrard, which I think I mentioned in the last episode, and he would only be around 3.5 million, and for at least half a season to a season, he'd be really good signing to bring into the team in that CDM role. And if we played him every game, he'd probably maybe even stay at the same overall, which would be fantastic. So that's something to look into. But we do actually get the return of Valentine Stocker, which is fantastic. Obviously, he has been out, I think, for 2 or 3 months now, which is disappointing. He scored 14 goals for us in the league, so it's not like he's done badly, but you know, I would like him to come back into the team and finish the season off well, because we do need to finish this season well, and I really do want to try and win as many of the remaining games as we possibly can. Obviously, we've done very well this season. Nevertheless, even if the season was to end and we finished in 5th, you know, at least we would have done well. And you can see we only have lost 2 games, but we have drawn 10. So we've lost the least amount in the league, which is incredible. I never would have imagined that we would have done that due to, you know, the strength of the team. You can see, looking at the team, it doesn't look like a team you put up in that high in the Bundesliga. But obviously in the summer we'll have Fabian Schär joining up. We'll also be looking for a new CDM, probably a new striker, and maybe even a new cam. I really do want to revitalise the whole of this team and get it up to a good quality. A lot of these players are sub 75 rated, which just isn't good. You know, they're not good enough to be playing at the top level of the Bundesliga. People like Wilhelm, who I brought in, they're good, but they're not good enough to be playing at the top level. And if we're in the Champions League next season, we definitely need to strengthen in the summer, and it's going to be difficult. We do start off to a good start here against Cologne. Obviously not the best team in the world, and obviously not the best team in the Bundesliga either, to, you know, more to the point. And we do manage to put ourselves 1-0 up, which is really good. Really happy with that. But as I said, even people like Ben Hatry are only like 72 rated. We really do need to get them high 80 rated players eventually. And that is part of the reason that I may look to get a financial takeover, just so we can improve this team. Obviously, we are coming to the back end of FIFA 15 now as well, so it wouldn't be the worst idea. I'm all up for it, really. I'd like to have a financial takeover if we get less than kind of like £18–17 million next season, which probably isn't likely. You know, I want to better improve this team well, otherwise I feel we're not going to make any progress with the series. We do go 2-0 up. Thank you to Valentine Stocker picking himself up his 15th goal of the Bundesliga season, and considering he has been out injured I think multiple times, he's actually done very well. And again, he's someone that, you know, potentially we will look to sell just because of his injury problems. It's really frustrating when you have a player who is really good like Stocker, but continuously gets injured every so often. And I mean, luckily Kalou hasn't been injured, because he has been pretty much our main man this season, and I think he scored 22 goals at this point, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Really unbelievable from Kalou. Never expected him to be that good, but as I said, if we could get good money for him, we could potentially go in for someone like Mario Mandzukic, or someone of kind of around that sort of rating. You know, the mid 80s would be nice to better bring in some new fresh blood into the team. And it would really help us next season, because obviously the Champions League is going to be an absolute nightmare with the team we've got. We will probably not even get out of the groups, to be honest. It's just not good enough at all. But we do end up picking up a 2-0 victory over Cologne, which is a good result, getting 3 points on the table. Hopefully we can try and do that against Bayern Munich, although as you guys know it's going to be very difficult to beat Bayern. And did they play again? They actually drew against Hoffenheim, so they're not on the best of form, so maybe we can get a win against them, which would be absolutely incredible. Obviously, previously in the season, I think we beat Bayern Munich like 4-1 or something like that, which was absolutely crazy. We do travel over to the Allianz Arena, probably one of the nicest stadiums in the game, if not in the world. A very beautiful stadium. Does look a lot better at night when you get to see the outside of it, and it's all like glowing and stuff. Looks absolutely epic. Obviously, we are down in 3rd in the league, so you know, ideally I'd like to get into 2nd, but 3rd would be fantastic. Obviously the main idea, guys, beyond anything else, is just to keep in the top 4 this season. It really was a good idea to do that. Obviously, originally Hertha probably wouldn't even be finishing inside the top 6 or 7. You know, I don't quite watch Bundesliga football too much, but they're not the strongest team, so I think we've already well above achieved what we were set out to do. I don't know how well we did in the cups. I think, looking back on it, we actually got knocked out quite early on, so that is a little bit of a shame. But nevertheless, you know, we still have done fairly well, and I'm really impressed with the team, to be honest. We have done so well this season, and I'm just so proud that I managed to do this well, to be honest. We do get off to a fantastic start here. Kalou puts us 1-0 up in the 3rd minute, which, I don't know, is that going to be enough? I don't think it will be. You know, Bayern Munich are a team that I always struggle to beat, apart from in this series. This series is one of the only series that I've managed to beat a lot of the biggest teams, and I've not expected to. Although, saying that, we've done it in the Fiorentina series as well. But when we were at Arsenal, we struggled to beat the bigger teams, you know. And it's weird how when you play with a lower rated team, it seems to be easier to beat teams like Bayern and, you know, Man City, Man United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, them sort of teams, even Dortmund to an extent, you know. And it's weird how that works. I'm not too sure kind of what goes on with that, because it doesn't really make sense. Surely if you have a better team you stand more of a chance. But for me, like when we were at Arsenal and we had players like Götze and all of that and Dos Santos, we weren't winning as easily as we are now, which is kind of strange. But nevertheless, that is just the way FIFA works, really, isn't it? But nevertheless, we're still at 1-0 here in the game, and I was very shocked, you know. I was surprised they hadn't got into the game more. Although we are only just under half an hour in, Bayern did have the majority of the chances, which is what you'd expect, really. They do obviously have some fantastic players. They didn't actually have Lewandowski, so whether or not he's been sold, I am not too sure. They were playing Thomas Müller up front. To be honest, both of them just as good as one another, if not, you know, Müller slightly better, so not really any sort of a disadvantage. They did actually have Weiser, or aka Cal Squeezy, on the wings, and that was a bit of a surprise, you know. I didn't expect them to play Weiser. I'd expect them to play Iron Robin if they still have him, which I would imagine they do. You know, don't really see Robin going too much in Career Mode, unless you buy him yourself, obviously. But yeah, they didn't have Robin, so that was a start at least. But to be honest, their team was still way too strong anyway. Stocker gets a chance here with a free kick. Pretty poor free kick. Little Philip Lahm there manages to get his head on it. Something you probably don't see Lahm doing too much, headering balls, because he is... I don't know how tall Lahm is, actually. I don't really watch, as I said, Bayern Munich too much, but he is pretty small nevertheless, so surprising to see him getting himself a header there. But we do get a shot there, and they bring on this guy Rode. For some reason, is this guy got a high potential or something? Because all the time in Career Mode, when you play Bayern Munich, they almost always play this guy called Rode, and I don't know if he's good or if he's just some random player that they've like got and they just decide to use. I mean, I guess it's a bit like the Andreas Lindegaard situation at Manchester United. It's very weird. I don't quite know how that really works, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, it's FIFA, and FIFA does produce some pretty weird things at times. But we do get another chance here. Weren't playing too well. I actually pressed LT when doing that header for some reason. I don't know why, because I should have just headed it. Probably could have stand a chance of getting it in, and we get very lucky there not to concede, to be honest. Hitting the, I think it was Muller hit the crossbar there. And I was just really hoping at this point, 6 minutes to go, not including injury time, we could actually pick up the 3 points. It would be really beneficial to us. Obviously, it would keep Bayern at bay at the top of the league, so potentially we could try and form a title charge in the last 4 games. I think that'd be slightly unrealistic, but it is a possibility, and it'd be nice to, be a bit tighter at the top and make for a good, interesting end to the season if, we can actually pick up the victory. And it was looking increasingly likely now going into the 90th minute. There was 2 minutes of injury time added by the referee. And we do actually pick up the victory, which is surprising. We have beaten Bayern Munich in the past. So it's not like we can't do it, but it's very surprising to do it, and only 1-0 as well. Usually Bayern at least score once, but we managed to keep them at bay. And I think that's like their 4th or 5th loss of the season, which is pretty surprising actually. And what happens now is very depressing, guys. We get an injury to Valentine Stocker for 4 fucking months. Can you believe it? He came back for 2 games after like a 3-month injury, and he's already injured again. Absolutely aged, that is. As you can see, there is only 1 point in it at the top of the table. It is so tight right now. We are 6 points clear of Hoffenheim. So it is going to be a very tight end to the season, guys. Hopefully you are looking forward to it. Maybe we can even try and win the title. Who knows? But anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, if we can smash over 5 likes, that would be absolutely awesome. If you haven't already, go and subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you guys in the next episode very soon.